What's up, duelists? Yesterday was a very exciting day for Edison format for a lot of reasons. First things first, the Disciples had their annual Edison thing happen. I don't know if it was annual or biannual or monthly or whatever, but they had their thing happen. And Gabriel Nets put out this tweet. We did Edison Cup this weekend, not recorded, thankfully. And he said he thought it was a good idea to play 9 upstart X-Sabers. Then he posted a picture of his deck in which he used the wrong Rescue Cat art, which I have cropped hopefully enough out here. And I said you probably lost because you used the wrong Rescue Cat art. But in actuality, the real reason he lost is because he didn't go to youtube.com/E3yugioh and copy my X-Saber deck list. Because simultaneously, halfway across the world, here I'm giving him a little bit of a question here, a good question, honestly. What were you trying to draw into with the 9 draw cards? Because he was playing 3 Legacy, 3 Jar, and 3 Upstart. And he said Stormcat, Faltrel. And then I said, you want to use Gold Sark or Rat because you got to tutor the cat. The chances of drawing double Airbellum are higher than drawing cat with every consecutive draw. And then another person just added there that the alternate art of cat is criminal, which I 1000% agree. Anyway, halfway across the world, Swagger, aka Juan, aka Swagger, is hosting his banger World Series of Edison event in Southern California, which, you know, as you can see, is top forward by Totogon with none other than functionally my X-Saber list with double Gold Sark and double Giant Rat. We will get into the deck list here shortly, and then we will also play some games with it. But just a little bit, shout out to Totogon and shout out to Swagger. This tournament series is actually really, really sick. Make sure you're following Swagger Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to see the rest of the top 8 deck lists from this first tournament, as well as see more info on his upcoming events in this series, follow him on Instagram at Swagger Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe, or Swagger_YGO. You see it there on the screen. Make sure and check him out, and also check out Totogon because he is streaming the events to his YouTube and his Twitch at Totogon Plays. So there's a lot of hype Edison tournaments happening in Southern California this summer thanks to these two guys. So show them some support, and if you want to see some fire lists, check them out on YouTube and Instagram respectively. All right. But moving on to the list. The big differences he made from my list from the last time we streamed together was he cut Tragodia and Swords of Revealing Light, which arguably were the two most sus cards. And then he added 1 X-Saber Full Helm Knight, going up to the full 4 copies if you count Rhoda, and adding 1 at 1 with the sword. Now this is the real draw trap that you should be playing, not Legacy in this deck. This card is crazy. This is a card that I think a lot of people are unprepared for. And it's a really strong mix-up. It's a damage step trick. It lets you go plus a million on stuff like Hamster, Raikou, that sort of stuff, Dandy tokens, whatever. All you have to do is just equip it to an X-Saber monster while you only control 1 X-Saber monster. You can't control any other monsters, basically. You have to control only 1 face-up X-Saber monster. You equip it to it, it gains 800, and then if it destroys a monster by battle, you draw a card. So a little bit of a nerfed sort of Horn of the Phantom Beast if you played this card in later renditions of Edison formats. It's a nerfed version of that because you can only control 1 monster when you activate it, so you can't back up that swing by Starlight Road specifically. But it is still a really strong card. It can be used defensively. It can be used, like I said, in the damage step, which is really powerful. And then once again, let's talk a little bit about the list. I've covered this list with Totogon on stream and on camera before, but we'll go a little bit more into detail with it here. The big idea with X-Sabers is that versus the meta decks, your main game plan is to resolve a sweeper, aka Trunade, Heavy Storm, or Trap Stun, plus Cat Faltrel play of some kind. Whether that involves Summoner Monk, or whether that involves having a Godam's E-Call involved, or whatever excess stuff it needs in order to be a full combo, 1-for-1 Faltrel, that sort of thing. Whatever. The point is that you need to resolve a sweeper and you need to resolve Cat Faltrel. And unfortunately, if you draw a lot of cards, you run the risk, like I said, mathematically speaking, of drawing double Airbellum before you draw a single Rescue Cat. So what you want to do is you want to tutor Rescue Cat. So this deck plays 5 tutors, 6, 7 tutors for Rescue Cat, I think. Double Giant Rat, double Gold Sark, Summoner Monk, and Sangan. So it's 7 ways basically to immediately get Rescue Cat into play. So it's very, very consistent at doing that. You could even go further with that. You could play Tomato to get Monk. You could play more Giant Rats, whatever. But I think 7 is a good number because you also need to draw Fall Troll. Gold Sark is nice because it's kind of a tutor for either of those or the sweepers. So it just counts as like extra numbers. And in tandem with Gold Sark, what you just need to do is just survive. The cool thing about Gold Sark is it kind of baits your opponent to start rushing you. And when your opponent is rushing you and you have 5 battle recruiters, you kind of get to tutor your deck for whatever you want and just build your board however you want to. That's sort of the thought process behind this deck. You play a couple other power cards like Level Limit Area B, which is incredibly broken, especially with Full Helm and the double armory extra deck setups. The one thing that is kind of a big change from the list is that you don't play Trigodia. Like I said, Trigodia combos really well with Level Limit. But yeah, the other thing Totegon changed is he changed the entire sideboard. He's playing like this very floodgatey stun deck sideboard. If you look at my sideboard from when I sent him the list, it's very different. I'm playing more back row that you can swap in for like, I don't know, just different matchups where you might want Pulling the Rug for Caius or something like that. And I'm not playing any further normal summons outside of this Cyber Dragon Zui. I don't like siding in any normal summons that aren't X-Sabers in my own personal list. But in Totegon's list, it seems like he wanted to play triple Kaiku and double Thunder King, and it worked out really well for him. He was able to go like 7-1. Anyway, I've been holding someone up on the Discord. I asked them to play, so we're just going to go ahead and test the deck versus them real quick. And you guys can see. What the fuck was his name? I forgot. Hold everyone. Hold. Okay. Alright. We're now hosting. There we go. We're now hosting. Also, another thing, thank you guys for 14,000 subscribers. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty big milestone, actually. 14K. Not quite 40K, which is the goal, but hey, if you want to be part of the next 26K, which will inevitably happen, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now. I gotta pick paper. Man, this is tough. This is just tough. I just lose RPS every single time. Anyway, I'm not sure about the sideboarding patterns from Totegon here, but the main point I'm trying to draw here is Gabriel Netz is a very good player, right? Like, he's a solid player. He tops a lot of YCSs or whatever. But he's playing a dog shit list. And if you play a dog shit list in today's Edison format, you're going to get fucking beat the fuck out. You're going to get fucking owned. And also, if you're not, like, super, I don't want to say comfortable in Edison, but, like, if you don't play Edison that often, you're going to get beat the fuck out. That's just the way it goes. Whereas, like, Totegon, he's been practicing. He's been playing a good list. He, of course, went to youtube.com/E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! And copied a list. And lo and behold, when you copy my deck lists, they actually do work, surprisingly. All right, he's going to Gold Sark for Future Fusion. He's probably playing Dragons. Very few other decks will Gold Sark for Future Fusion in this format. He's going to set a lot of back row, too. This matchup is hard. I will not lie to you guys, but that is an insane draw. That is a really, really good draw. I'm actually very happy with this hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for the Emmer's Blade attack. The reason we're going for Emmer's Blade is because if he deprisons, I want to be able to Book of Moon my Emmer's Blade and keep it in play. Or Mirror Forces. If he tarantulas me, then I got owned. Like, what can I do? But as of right now, here we are. So that's one turn for Future Fusion for him. Yeah, if he gets to that Future Fusion, it's going to be hard. We don't have a great way to interact with it as of right now. So this card says activate only while the face-up monster you control is an X-Saber monster. So we might activate it end phase. I'm not really sure if we're going to use it or not. Kind of depends on what we draw. Alright, well, what we can do is we can try to like Highland Lay one of his back row, but that's kind of stupid. That doesn't really, I guess it's not that bad. Testing X-Saber deck? Yes, I am. I am testing the X-Saber deck. This circumstance is pretty tricky. We have a lot of options. Not many of them are bad, but this is just such a defensive position he's got here, and it's like so many back row. I don't really want to commit too much into it. I actually would really like to get the draw off of @1 with the sword. So let's attack with Emmer's Blade. And I'll say damage step. I'll use @1 with the sword, targeting Emmer's Blade. The only thing he can do here is Solemn Judgment me, because there's no like Forbidden Lance or anything in the format. So monster's going to go up to 2100 attack. His monster is going to die. That one with the sword is going to activate. We are going to draw a card. So he is playing dragons, and we did find Godham's Emergency Call, which is a really good card, because that'll allow us to sort of combo through this dragon situation. One thing I want to do is I want to commit another monster to play, but I'm not sure which one I want to commit, whether it's going to be Full Helm Knight or Giant Rat. I think I'm going to go with Full Helm Knight. Yeah, I'm going to go with Full Helm Knight. Just so we have a negate attack in play in case he has like brain control or some shit. Plus it's like makes our Gothams so much better next turn. He has 4 back row. It's really scary. But it could also be like legacies, jars, that sort of thing. Who knows what it is, you know? It wasn't solemn. I think he would have solemned at one with the sword. But maybe not. Who knows? Crazy stuff. Alright. I guess we're safe from brain control anyway, because of book. This is such an interesting situation. Yeah, legacy. Okay, makes sense. Now what you should actually do here if you're Sevo is, unless you're trying to find a sweeper, which he probably is, he's probably trying to find Heavy Storm, Giant Trunade. You should actually save the legacies till after you've activated Future Fusion, because you run the risk of drawing into more Wyverns and making your Future Fusion worse. That's something that is always worth considering. If you already have the sweeper, then, well, obviously, like, you're going to legacy either way if you already have the sweeper. I guess if you don't have the sweeper, you got to think about if you're going to just slam Future Fusion or not. Him just setting a monster is pretty dangerous for him, because now we have the @1 with the sword live, and we have the second monster in play, and we've drawn level limit area B, which is actually an OTK versus this deck pretty much. Plus we have Starlight Road, so I'm pretty safe to just keep committing. I'm going to normal summon Giant Rat as well. I'm not feeling too uncomfortable about attacking into that. It could be a Exploder Dragon, but that's once again just another @1 with the sword activation, another card drawn. Mirror Force here is going to run into Starlight Road. Does he have Solemn Judgment? No, he does not. Now we get Stardust Dragon in play. Okay. Emrys Blade is going to destroy his monster. He was a little bit too scared of the bottomless. You can't, because Stardust is summoned Chilling 2. Yeah, you can't bottomless Stardust off of Starlight Road because it is summoned Chilling 2. If Starlight Road negated the activation, then you could, but it only negates the effect. So, yeah. Go 2 damage. The Emrys Blade did attack here, so. Yeah, and I believe replay only occurs with Warrior Lady. Okay, so I think this wins for him. Do you want to activate? I don't think I draw here. I'm pretty sure I don't. I think this activates instead, but I could be wrong. Do you want to activate? I mean, no. I attacked with Emrys Blade. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right. But still, it's fine. I think we're above and beyond where we really need to be right now. I think this is just like super game. Attack with the rat. I don't need to swing the Stardust into a deep prison. I win next turn anyway, I think. Fuck it, I'll do it. Alright, no deep prisons. Cool. We could play level limit and then have Stardust level limit up, but I feel pretty confident with the Full Helm and the Book of Moon as ways to defend the Stardust already, so I'm not too pressed. I think we're okay with this. He is playing DD Warrior Lady with the Legacy of Yatagracius, which I think is pretty good. I do think that the Blizzard Dragon list needs Warrior Lady in some capacity. It's probably a better card than Luster Dragon overall. But I don't know why he didn't play the Future Fusion last turn. I think that like definitely cost him something. I also don't know what his other 2 back row are. Maybe one of them is Starlight Road. Maybe one of them is something. There's Future Fusion. That's going to resolve. So he's just a turn behind on getting his Red Eyes in play, basically. which is obviously problematic. So, 2 more Wyverns. He is playing Prime Material Dragon. I usually think that card's pretty bad. It's only good in like certain circumstances where you want to send it off of Future Fusion. How are we going to deal with this board? I think the answer is probably just we've got to figure it out. I think we can't Black Rose because I'm like fairly certain his... I guess we could Black Rose because we have Stardust to defend against Starlight Road. So yeah, I guess we could just Black Rose him. But then we lose everything, which sucks. Oh no, we just win. He's at 1500. Yeah, so we just Black Rose him and then Rescue Cat activate. And he can't win. So, even if he goes like End Phase, bring out double Red Eyes, like it won't matter. Prime Material Dragon is so ass, dude. This card's so bad. It's just so bad. It's so bad. Although, if you, even if, first off, if you ever draw it, it's just a brick. Like, it's a hard brick. And then, second off, if you ever get it into play, it just, like, kind of loses to everything it's, like, intended on stopping. You know what I mean? Like, you intended on stopping, like, Stardust Dragon from negating... I don't even know what it's intended on stopping. It's always better to play a second Starlight Road than Prime Material Dragon, in my experience, because, like, outside of in, like, specific matchups, like, Hero Beat, this card has very little application, since not much actually destroys in Edison format. I would say, how would I say it? Just side it. That's how I would say it, yeah. If you're going to play this card, side it. Don't main it. It's, like, pretty bad against a lot of decks. And in a lot of situations. Anyway, we're just going to go Black Rose, activate the effect to blow up the field. So he has Starlight Road, and I have Stardust Dragon. So he gets the Starlight Road. He's going to lose his whole board. We're going to summon Rescue Cat, then kill him. And that should win. He can't, like, chain another Starlight. Yep. Blow it all up. Is he lagging or something? No, he's not. He's getting it. Yeah. He could have chained Bottomless to banish the Black Rose, but it doesn't fucking matter at this point. He did have a Deep Prison. Interesting. Cool. So, Cat, activate, go get the Airbellums, and win the game. So, that's that. Cool. I think he played this game a little weird, for a lot of reasons, but thankfully Totagon has some great sideboard cards for this matchup. I mean, just a ton of great sideboard cards for this matchup. Like, all of these cards have application. I don't know if we're going to do all of the Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. We're going to start off with these 6. I'm also not sure if I'm going to bring in all the Iron Walls. I might just bring in like 1 or 2, but we'll see. Cards that tend to be pretty bad versus dragons. I actually think Gold Sarcophagus is fine. He can't really get through the Battle Recruiters that easily. Summoner Monk is fine. Sangan is fine. All of our monsters are like fine. I actually lied. He can get through the Battle Recruiters if he spams DD Warrior Lady, which is tough. I'll give him a good game 1. It's a good game 1 for us because we got to showcase Out One with the Sword and the power of this card and how it's able to like cascade advantage for you, and like how it's able to turn these like little guys into like very real problems that can attack over things like Sirocco, Hamster, like I said, even Drago or whatever, and just do whatever they need to do. I'm gonna keep it real. There's like really not that much I give a shit about siding in this matchup, so I'm just not gonna side all that much. I'm actually gonna keep it pretty simple. Yeah. I don't fucking know. 1 book, I guess. I usually side out a full Helm Knight. He's kind of weak. Whatever. I could have sided out Rhoda because I sided in the Thunder Kings. I don't think it matters that much. The Gold Sarks might have been better than whatever I sided in anyway. Anyway, if you look at this hand, like, you see we have 1 Airbellum. Now imagine we have a draw card here in this Giant Rat. Okay, we have a draw card. Are we going to draw into an Airbellum or a Rescue Cat? The chances of us drawing into a second Airbellum are 100% higher than drawing into the Rescue Cat, and then instantly our cat fall troll play is dead. So, that's why you want the tutors. Like, just look at this circumstance. This is exactly what I was talking about in the intro. This is exactly why you want to play this specific stuff. Anyway, keeping it simple, I want to keep the Brain Airbellum play online. I want to keep the Rat for the Faltrel. I'm just going to set Emer's Blade and set Starlight Road. And if he wants to attack into Emer's Blade, that's fine. But I do want to keep all of this stuff kind of sandbagged, because like I want him to like spend a Warrior Lady on the Emer's Blade if possible. It's our weakest card, and you want to start with your weakest card. So yeah, I think the most interesting thing about playing X-Sabers is like knowing which cards to keep and which cards to play. Yeah, this is exactly what happens. Like if you Warrior Ladies my Rat, my hand is all of a sudden kind of shitty. But if you Warrior Ladies my Emer's Blade, my hand still has all of its power. So we're actually big chillin'. He might not even Warrior Lady the Emer's Blade. He should. He should Warrior Lady the Emer's Blade. But he might not. No problem. No problem. Yeah, he's gonna do his thing. Alright, flip summon, that's all good. Sorry, I forgot to give him a thumbs up. I'll flip it. See if he wants to use his effect. Now if you're on the side of Sebo here, yeah, you do want to banish, so you don't give me the double X-Saber into Faltrel play. New back row, okay. Mirror Force is another one you can try to side out versus dragons, because they usually do play multiple Starlight Road. This guy, he's probably playing Prime Material Starlight Road, which still is another reason why you shouldn't necessarily keep a Mirror Force, so maybe something to keep in mind for game 3. I'm going to attack with nothing. I think I'm going to set Rat now. I'm going to set Rat, set Mirror Force. I can Mirror Force a lone DD Warrior Lady, and anything else I'll just let through, and I'll get my Rescue Cat. And that'll work. Then we'll win. Pretty much. There's a Legacy. That card is good. I just don't think it is good in X-Sabers. It's like one of the decks where X-Sabers, Rescue Cat are the decks where you don't want to play it. You'd rather play more tutors just to get that specific card that gets you the combo. And there are a lot of tutors in Edison format. Like, people underestimate how many different ways there are to search Rescue Cat. You could fill a deck with like somewhere of like 18 to 25 ways to search Rescue Cat, if you wanted to. You don't have to. In this deck, we're playing 7, but yeah, that's the concept. I actually have a fun little quote from Totagon. Subscribe to Totagon, by the way. I'm sure he's going to go into detail on his tournament report. But I said the Rats are the wave, and he says, yeah, I am never taking them out of my deck ever again. All right, there's Future Fusion, so that's fine. This is a pretty strong Future Fusion. This is actually going to put us in a bad spot here. We might be able to find an OTK, but it's unlikely. No, we have Road, I guess. It's not going to be an OTK, though. If he doesn't, like, if he just goes End-Phase, bring out Red Eyes, it's really fucking bad for us. Yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. I cannot lie. So sending double Red Eyes is usually what you do if you don't have, or if you already have your like Prime Material in hand. It's possible he's drawn his Prime Material, which is fine. He's going to go End-Phase, bring out Red Eyes, which is fine. If he brings out both, we can like Brain Control and destroy them, which is kind of funny. If he just brings out one, then this is where things get tricky. Oh my god, we drew Cat. What are the chances? Half as likely as drawing a second Airbellum. But that being said, this does win us the game, so we are going to go for it. I'm just going to normal summon Rescue Cat. Priority? Question mark. Activate. Yes. Okay. Get double Airbellum. This should be an OTK. Hopefully. Special summon Faltrel. Flip summon Giant Rat. We're gonna make Airbellum because I want to hand rip him 3 times if he does have an out for this OTK. And then Faltrel activates. Brings out Airbellum. So this Airbellum's the one we summon off Faltrel. The other one is one that's going to die in the End-Phase. Activate Brain Control. Hopefully this just works. Sick. Yeah, just run it. Run it and or gun it. Let's start with the Urbellum. Put one back. He's got Mirror Force, and we've got Road. And that should do it. The power of Starlight Road, ladies and gentlemen. That is 8,000 damage. Very broken. Very, very broken. It's lethal. Oh, yeah. It's lethal plus hand loop. GG's. 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 Tough matchup. I think it is a hard matchup for him. This card's pretty bad. These cards are pretty mediocre versus X-Sabers because you activate them, you put a card in your hand, and then I just rip it out of your hand. And you didn't defend against a combo. So the negative tempo from Legacy of Yatagarasu and Jar of Greed being in everyone's deck, it's making everyone like slightly weaker to X-Sabers. So I think I'm gonna tell him, especially if you play Legacy and stuff, because X-Saber punishes Legacy Jar. Yeah, basically, yeah. Even if he had brought out double Red Eyes there, we can just crash the Red Eyes. It's still game, I'm pretty sure. We just don't make Urbellum, we make Black Rose instead, which makes it game. So, yeah, either way, even if he had brought out double Red Eyes. He would have to bring out... No, there's just no way to do it. Yeah, there's no way to do it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Let's go back to the list. I added them because I was not drawing enough Future Fusion. They're good for sure, but you gotta side them out versus Saber for like rivalry or some shit. Anyway, let's go back to the drawing board and explain the deck a bit more. Basically, yeah, this is how the deck works. You search for Cat. In that game, we were lucky enough to draw Cat Fall Troll, but that's just going to happen some percentage of games, right? Thankfully, we didn't draw into second Urbellum. Every turn that passes is like, it's tough for you if you don't draw into Cat or Monk or whatever. But yeah, that's just how it goes. You know, that's just the way this deck works. At one with the sword got to show itself off. The tutors got to show themselves off. At least the power of the tutors did. And the sideboard didn't really do anything, I'm going to be honest. I don't really know if I'm super sold on this sideboard. I don't think this sideboard has enough cards for Frogs. Frogs is already a pretty good matchup for X-Sabers, to be fair, but I don't know. This sideboard seems a little light for Frogs. I really hate Fiendish Chain in this deck. I think it's quite bad. I think Imperial Iron Wall is interesting, but it conflicts with Gold Sark, which is a pretty important card in this deck. So I don't know how that worked out well for Totegon. You're going to have to check out Totegon Plays on YouTube and on, obviously on Swagger's, Instagram, and see what he has to say about the list and why he made the changes to the sideboard that he made, and what worked for him and what didn't work for him in his very impressive, I believe, 7-1 record. Let me see what he ended up winning with this, because this might be the highest placing X-Saber deck profile in like a premier event in a ever, pretty much. Let me see. What the fuck? Where is he? Let's see. He won a Turbo Pack Black Whirlwind. That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. No, the prize support for these tournaments is really good. I believe the next one is like first place gets an ultimate brain control. Second place gets something really good too. Third and fourth place get really. Let me read it. He sent it to me. Yeah, July 14th is Swagger's next event. $20 entry. First place gets ultimate brain control. Second place gets turbo pack sorcerer. Top 4 gets ulti Stratos. They're good events like prize wise, and they seem like a lot of fun from the streams that I've seen. So definitely tune into them. Check out the boys, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. Get fucking owned, Gabriel Nets. Play the right art of Rescue Cat. Peace.